Like, I grew up in a tiny town, so like I never thought like this like influence that I had would ever like grow like this. And so like that, I think that's the biggest thing is like looking at like a number rise so much. I'm like, oh my god, like I grew up in a town of 2,000 people. Like, what is happening here? Like, it's just like a wildest dream sort of thing. Like, it still feels like a fever dream. I was about to start streaming. That's like my next thing that I want to do. It's like I want to live stream a little bit. I feel like it'd be a fun time.
That's like such an easy way to like kind of I feel like build followers because we've both been saying like we kind of both just got on the Fortnite wave.
Yeah.
But my whole For You page right now is fucking Fortnite.
It's
guys
all
going
streamers.
live, just like
all live
But
streamers.
I like just interacting with people like live. Like, it's always fun, and like just being able to like communicate with people that like follow me is like sort of like something I want to do a lot more of, because I feel like having those interactions, like having like interpersonal relationships, like actually like helps grow a lot. Because like if you're a person that's like super like casual and not like communicating with anyone, like you're sort of just an asshole at that point. I don't want to be a dick. Like, I just want to be a normal dude.
Okay. No, that's sick.
Do you play on console or do you play on PC?
Oh, I'm a console guy. I play on my Xbox One. That shit barely runs at this point.
Dude, we gotta run it sometime.
Man, I'll run.
Hell yeah.
A few weeks ago, I was just bored. And I woke up and I'm like, Wags, I'm getting a PS5 today. Our buddy
went over
drove
to
us
Best
over
Buy.
to Best Buy, grabbed that, and then we've been ripping it ever since.
Bro, it's I need to make the investment at some point.
You gotta get some NIL money.
Yeah, I know.
right?
I think that's the next part for me. Is like trying to get NILs and reaching out to people.
That's
But
awesome.
I've been really chillax about it. It's just sort of I've always been like a guy that just like wants to have fun all the time, and so like now a bunch of people that just like watch me dance every day. It's like sort of funny to me.
Awesome. Cool. Well, let's do a little intro. Otto, thank you so much for coming through. You've been popping like across every social media recently.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Talk about that. Let's talk about that video. The one that everyone's seen, the dancing, everything like that. How did that come about?
So like my buddy Zach, he's like a videographer, really good videographer, works for Slam, like does a bunch of like super big events, and he's like in a short film class at BU, and he was like, yo, I need you to like be my actor for this, and he's my best friend, so I'm like, yeah, of course. And so like after that, he's like, yo, like I can't pay you at all for anything for that, but I'll just like make you an edit or whatever for it. So he makes it for me. The next day we're like, okay, we'll post this. And like after a day I had like 40K views, and I was like, oh my god, like this is so sick. Like I just got 40K views on a post. And then I go to sleep that night, I wake up the next day and it's at like 250,000. I'm like, what is happening right now? Like I was like joking about it with him, and then a few days later, like Ball's Life gets a hold of it, and then I was like, it's just been crazy since. Like every media network that's like major now has sort of posted it. Barstool just posted it. SportsCenter Next posted it, and it's actually like really crazy because of all the interactions that I'm having with like a bunch of people I never thought I would talk to before. So it's awesome. It's crazy. The growth is nuts.
Did you post that first one and then the second one kind of came because you saw like success with your first video?
Yeah, sort of. Like I was like, oh, like okay, like let's just keep this rolling at this point. Let's see if people actually like gravitate towards me or just the edit. And I feel like a lot of people just like my vibe. But I feel like that's the big thing. Is like I just like dancing. I like just having a fun time. Like pre-game, I'm dancing the entire time. Like it's sports are taken super seriously, and I try to take the more relaxed approach with it. Like that's how I've always been. Like I didn't start basketball until I was like a sophomore in high school. Like I was really chill about doing sports, and then I sort of became good at it, and I just keep that same vibe the entire time. I don't want to lose love for anything that I'm playing.
It seems like who you are in that video and like the way that video portrays you is like exactly how you like play, but also just how you operate like day to day, right?
Oh yeah, every day. Like I just try to have a good time. You can ask all my teammates. Like it's just a bunch of jokes with us. Like every single time I'm trying to be around somebody, I'm trying to make them laugh. Like it's just something that I've always grown up with. My dad was really good at just making people laugh all the time, so I just try to carry on what he did.
What was the song in that video? Where did that come from?
So I don't even know actually. So my friend just sends me the video, and I was like, oh, that song's sick. And I didn't think the song was going to be the big part about it, but like that song was just so catchy that I sort of wanted to keep listening to it, and I kept listening to it that day. And then we just walked around, we were just listening to the song. We're like, this song's really good. Like this, like just get catchy. And then the guy who actually made the song, so he made a drill version, and then somebody edited it, put like Afro beats on it. But the guy who did it like reached out to us and was like, oh, like thanks, like this is a lot of publicity for me too. And I was like, oh, no problem. Like this is such a sick video.
That's
Like
awesome.
it's a sick song. So that's cool. Like it's just crazy interactions at this point with those people.
Who's been like the coolest person that's reached out to you since you kind of found this newfound fame?
You know, like I've always been a big Ball is Life fan. Like ever since I was little, I'd watch Ball is Life, and they followed me on Instagram, and I was like, holy cow, like this is like crazy. Like having Ball is Life just like follow you is sort of like a surreal moment for me. I feel like that was pretty cool. Yeah, I think that's probably like the biggest person that I've like had an interaction with so far.
And then All Hail Ball did.
Yeah, that video was so funny. All Hail Ball is very funny. Like he sent me the video beforehand. He's like, "Is this all good?" I was like, "This is hysterical. Like
Yeah.
I love this. Like I love the joke pointing at like playing like LeBron, like the next coach. That's so funny to me."
How did like growing up as a basketball player, like what did that look like earlier on in life for you?
Like I didn't play basketball at all. I would watch basketball with my dad all the time.
Okay.
We would watch 70s. We actually would watch Larry Bird all the time. I grew up a Celtics fan, and I turned to a Spurs
In Colorado?
fan. Yeah, in Colorado. I was a big Celtics fan, and I was a big Larry Bird fan because my dad would only force me to watch Larry Bird. And then I was a very tall kid growing up, but I loved soccer. I played soccer constantly. And then going into my freshman year of high school, I grew to be 6'8". Like I went from 6'1" to 6'8", and I was like, okay, like it's time to put up the cleats here and like figure out what I'm gonna do. And then I started playing basketball in Colorado, and then my mom was like, oh, like we should move to California. And we moved to California with my stepdad, and like I just blew up from there with basketball. And I thank my coaches at Torrey Pines. I went to Torrey Pines High School. They did a great job just developing me, being like very caring with me. Like it was a good time. I love basketball so much now. It's just always a good environment to be around. A lot of people care about each other. That's what I like about it the most part.
You talk about the Larry Bird, like the early love for him. Like, have you? I mean, I guess it's kind of like obvious in your style of play and how you carry yourself. But like, what have you taken from his game into yours?
You know, like Larry's just always super confident with himself. I'm never really down on myself in game. I feel like Larry was the same way with that. I take that a lot. And then my jumper looks a lot like his. I don't know where that came from. That just sort of might be like intuition in my body, just wanting to do it. But I have the same jumper as him too. So I just love watching him play now too. He was really good. He's really good.
Are there any other like NBA players that you've kind of modeled your game after or you look up to?
Like probably like Dirk, like the generic white guys. Like when you think of good basketball, like white basketball players, like those guys I typically look up to. Tim Duncan was a big guy I loved when I was growing up, and like nowadays I really like I'm a big fan of like Sabonis, Jokic, of course. Like it's just all like simple basketball. I don't like making stuff too complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Like I sort of just like rely on like, okay, like this is a good play here. Let's make this play. I don't want to force anything. I don't want to make anything too difficult.
What was your high school like experience like? Did you play AAU, UIBL, any of the circuits?
I played on a non-circuit team, so that was the weird part for me. I played at a high school that was very known for basketball, but my circuit team was like we were really good, but we didn't really play on any big level, high level. But my coaches on that AAU team really helped me reach out to a lot of people. And Boston University was really close with those coaches, so I sort of just became super close with them, and that just turned into a bunch of love, and I loved the Boston University staff. So it just all sort of worked out perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Was there any other – I know who was it? Bay Fall is a Colorado guy. Did you ever play with him?
I played against Bay Fall in high school, like maybe twice.
He's crazy. He's athletic.
He's the most freak athlete I've ever seen. He's super good. I think he'll be a league guy one day. There's a bunch of guys that I've played with where I'm like, okay, like there's another level to basketball comparative to like Division I, and then you can tell who a pro is. Bay Fall's a pro by far. He's really good. I played Paulo Banchero one time. He gave me like 46. He's the truth. Like I've played some guys that are like, oh my god, like they're good.
Do you know Gus Bus?
Gus Bus, I actually played on the same AAU organization for like a year as him, but I was not at the tournament that he was at. But okay. I sort of know him by association.
Because he's another guy that you guys have a very similar like just character and like play style and everything.
Yeah, no, from what I've heard from my friends, he's a really fun guy.
He's really fun. I actually know him pretty well.
Really?
And I've done like some videos and stuff with him, and he's just like kind of exactly like he would be another one where it would pop up a similar video as yours, and it would just be him like in the video. Like it would be cool to see like even a collab like of you guys like this summer or something.
He's dope. I really like him. I like his game too. He's a really good basketball player. So that might actually have to happen. I might have to text him.
Yeah, I'll connect you guys.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
What about so in the video, like obviously like, you know, the dancing, the hoops, everything, but "Hi, mom"? Like you're talking, you're waving to your mom, "Hi, mom" to the camera. What did that come from?
So at the beginning of the year, right, our videographer Zach, he's like, "You just got to do something for the camera," and I was always like, "Oh, okay." Like I'll think of something here, and I was like thinking. I was like, "I'll just say hi to my mom real quick," and that just sort of grew. So I did it every game my freshman year. I would just go up to the camera, go say hi, mom, and then this year I started doing it again. And then after that Bryant game, where the ending of the video is, my mom was actually at the game, but I wanted that clip to send to her afterwards. And so I even said hi, mom, on my interview on ESPN. So like everything is always, I try to thank my mom as much as I possibly can. She's a very big inspiration in my life, and I just really I like having like this thing where I'm like, okay, I'm always gonna say this, and she's always gonna be able to see it. I always send her the clips. So it's just mostly because of my love for her, pretty much.
Does she get out to many games now, or is it tough where she's out in California?
You know, she tries her best. That's what I really like about it. She tries really hard. It's like a hard flight to get here from California. It's like 6 hours. So that's the hard part. But she gets to a lot of games for like how far we are. And she's one of the biggest supporters on ESPN Plus. Like they have big watch parties back in San Diego. So I know her support is very, very, very distant, but big.
What was her reaction to the video and the everything?
She didn't. So I went home for Christmas break, and that's right as it was blowing up, and she didn't understand how much it was blowing up. Like I was talking to her, I was like, "Oh, mom, this has like 1 million views." So she's like, "Oh, cool." But like then like throughout the day, she's like, why is everyone sending me this video now? And I'm like, well, I'm like blowing up a little bit, mom. She's like, how many views does it have? I'm like, it has like 3.2 million on my account right now. She's like, oh, okay, that's crazy. And then I was like, oh yeah. And then I was like, all these other media sources are getting a hold of it and they're reposting it. And then when the trend started happening, like Larry Bird's the greatest white hooper, and then it's like Luka Doncic is the greatest white hooper, and then it was a picture of me. My mom started getting those on her Facebook feed. And she was like, okay, like, this is crazy. Like, what is happening? So I feel like she understands now how, like, big it is. But at the beginning, she was really confused on what was happening. She just thought it was, like, a cool video. But she's, like, now, like, oh, my God. Like, this is crazy.
It probably must have hit her, too, when, like, people that she knows were, like, sending it to her on, like, Facebook and stuff. They're like, isn't this your son?
Yeah, like, she's been, like, been texting me. She's like, a bunch of my friends want, like, cameos for their kids. I'm like, there's only so much I can do here. Like... It's been really weird, actually, like the growth of it. Like I saw a family, I was getting my Uber to come here, and I saw a family. I took a picture with a family. I was like, that's weird. Like I never expected that ever in a million years.
No, it goes to show like how much influence like social media you can like have, and then like obviously what you can do to next, it would be like to capitalize off of it.
Yeah, that's I think just making a big like trying to capitalize as much as possible. I'm working on merch right now, like just like simple stuff. Like I don't want to push anything too hard. And I just sort of want people to like, I just want to be a vibe all the time. I want to be someone like you scroll on your page, you're like, oh, like this is a good video. Like I'm happy now. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, you've been popping on TikTok, even like especially recently, the past like 48 hours. It seems like, right?
Oh yeah, the last 24 have been crazy. When I got on my plane to come back on the 26th, I had like 35K going onto the plane, and then the next morning I woke up with like 55, and then like another like hour later I had like 75, and I finished practice and I was at 100K. I was like, what is happening?
Those last night or today?
Yeah, last night. I was like, oh my God, like what is happening? Like this is crazy. I'm almost at 150 now. I'm like, it's only been like I woke up, I went to practice, and I came here and I'm almost at 150, and I'm like, oh my God. It's just crazy how fast it is. Like I was like, oh okay, like I'll probably get like maybe 40K followers from this if like this really does well. And it's just been it's crazy. It's crazy, actually. I still haven't really comprehend how much it is, but like it's just crazy.
What are some of the most common like comments or like responses that you see?
Like just the hi mom is constant. I don't know how to respond to a hi mom because I would love to respond to it a little bit more, and I would love to have like more of like a fan base where I'm like talking about the hi mom thing, but it's just sort of hard. I don't know. I love the hi mom, and then like everyone's like, oh my God, this is the coldest white boy ever. Like it's so funny. It's actually so funny to me. I like vibes. That's always something funny.
Have you ever gotten any like hate comments?
Oh yeah, all the time. I average 9 points a game out of mid-major college. So like everyone's like, oh, like this guy sucks. But like in the long run, like it's an above average basketball player. Like I'm probably not gonna make the NBA. I realize that. Like they comment that I'm not gonna make the NBA, but I realized that in the moment. Like I know what I am. But like it's cool the people that support me and then they defend me afterwards. Like, this guy's really good. I'm like, okay, like we can calm down here. Like they're right about this, but yeah, the hate comments, they don't affect me at all. I've always heard it. Like, you're a white guy. Like, you're not going to go anywhere with this. And I've made that like a thing of mine. It's like, I'm going to keep pushing so I can prove a bunch of people wrong.
I feel like for like a white basketball player though, you do have some balance.
Yeah, no, that's always a joke with my teammates. I always act like I'm super unathletic, but like I have a cool dunk package if I really wanted to put my mind to it. But I just don't really bust it out too often. I'm more of a layup guy. Like, try to keep it simple.
What's your favorite dunk?
Like, recently I've been trying to get some like a 2-hand reverse windmill, but like I can do a bunch of like simple stuff. Like I have a pretty good dunk package for what my look is.
Fair enough. You got to get in the gym with Mac McClung. Like,
oh my god, that would be so sick. That guy is the craziest bounce I've ever seen in my entire life. When I watched that dunk contest, I was freaking out the entire time.
Did you like grow up? I mean, you were playing soccer, so like while you were playing soccer, did you grow up like watching like mixtapes and stuff like for basketball at all, or not really?
Like, it would always, like, I was just involved with sports, but I never really played basketball. But like, yeah, I would watch mixtapes all the time. Like, Ball is Life has always been something I've gone and watched constantly. I just love watching I love watching like people dunk all the time. It's the coolest thing ever. Like, in my opinion, it's the coolest thing ever is watching people dunk and like body to body dunks and like people dunking on each other and then like being super. It's just basketball's the one sport where you can just completely always have swag. Like, someone can always have swag in basketball, and that's why I love it so much, is because you can do whatever you want as long as you're hooping. Like, you can do whatever you want.
I feel like your swag too. Like, you just got the look. Like, it's just like so unique. And like, where do you get your haircut too?
So me and my best friend Gage during high school were like, yo, we should just get mullets.
Okay.
And then the next day we went to his house, we got mullets, and ever since we've been like, let's just get mullets, like keep mullets and mustaches.
And you got a guy in Boston, or you got to go back to San Diego?
I go to cheap barber shops. I like trying to keep the rugged look. I don't want it to be too pristine. It's just not who I am, is having a pristine haircut. I just like waking up in the morning and just be able to go wherever I want to.
And then you throw the headband on.
And I throw the headband on during practice. That's always my favorite thing now, is just being able to wear a headband and see the hair come out the back.
What about like your coaches, and like have they like caught on to it? Like, what do they think of it, or like anyone else from the school?
My head coach hasn't yet, and my like head assistant coach hasn't, but all the rest of my coaching staff is young enough, and they've like had a bunch of people send them the videos at this point. So
The head coach doesn't know about it yet?
He doesn't know that I'm like really popular yet. So it's actually super funny. He's my coach Al. He came up to me. He's like, 9 of my friends have sent me your video. Like, this is crazy. I was like, yeah, it's nuts. Like, I don't know what's happening at all. And it's funny that my head coach doesn't know. Like, I should probably tell him at some point, but I'm sort of just trying to keep it low key just in case he gets
Fair
a little
enough.
bit mad over it.
Yeah, he might pull some of your minutes.
What's been like the response from the hockey team? Because you say you live with them.
I was just texting my teammate or my roommate Dougie, and he was like, "Do you remember me still?" Because we've been away from a little bit, but like they're really cool about it. They're funny with it, so they keep me in the loop. They keep me humble too about it. So I like those guys. I love those guys so much.
How do you think, like looking forward, like you mentioned merch, but just like keeping this momentum going, is like social media something that you want to focus on and like building your personality?
Yeah, I feel like I could be a good internet personality if I like just find the time and commit to it really well. I feel like that's the biggest thing right now, is just like trying to find content that people like besides me dancing every day for like milestones or whatever. Like, that's all my posts have been for the last week. It's just like milestone dances and like me and my friend like just joking around the entire time. Like, I'm trying to find something that people could actually like interact with. I can interact with people. I feel like that's my next step here, is like trying to make this more of a, like, I wouldn't say a living, but like making it so I can have more of an influence on people.
I mean, it definitely is possible to make into like a career, and like if everything works out, is that something you'd want to explore or not necessarily?
Yeah, for sure. Like, my main priority is like basketball, but I think just being able to show people like the intricate works and like how normal basketball players are. Like, before this, like a lot of people said they were intimidated when they met me, and I'm a very like outgoing person. I don't want to be like this intimidating person, but because of all this new social media stuff, people are like communicating with me more, and it's not as crazy of like an interaction of being intimidated or anything like that. And I really like that. I just want to show that like basketball players and people who are like large and like seem very timid are actually like very normal people. Like these people that you like look up to and will go watch every day are just completely normal people.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, I think streaming would be one way to do that. And like a guy like Tyreek Hill, one of the biggest athletes in any professional sports, he's like on, lives, like Twitch streams, like all like after his games, just playing Madden or Fortnite or whatever. So he does a good job of that.
No, yeah, like I think a lot of the NFL guys do really good with that. Like, what is it? That Cooch guy from like he's like some like big TikTok personality too, who's like in and out of the NFL now, but he keeps it like real with people, like how it actually
his
is.
girlfriend is like even bigger than him on social media.
It's funny that you called him Cooch because that's not even his last name.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Rochelle.
Isaiah Rochelle.
Yeah.
It's his girlfriend.
That's the joke on TikTok because people know his girl more than him because he's always in and out of the league. But it sounds like she actually does pretty well too. But
I think she's I mean, I think they're doing well, but it shows that like social media, in some ways, and we actually had last week a sports reporter on. She's like a Clemson student. She's doing like kind of building a career in like the sports space on the journalism side, and she's talking about Taylor Swift and like Travis Kelce and how now NFL Taylor Swift's a bigger deal than like NFL, which is just like nuts. And like it's not even for her music, it's just like because she shows up on TV like getting all the minutes.
No, yeah, it's actually crazy. When Taylor and the Travis Kelce thing happened, I was like, oh, like this is gonna take over the world at this point. Like I just knew it already.
I saw a conspiracy theory for that today because she's an Eagles fan, and then the Chiefs beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Wait, so what was the
They're gonna she's dating him now to throw off the Chiefs and make them implode from inside.
Okay.
Oh, the Eagles suck now.
And then she's gonna get, and then Jason Kelsey's gonna get a divorce.
Yeah, maybe call it here.
What else has come with this? So like, obviously a lot of attention, but like, just like, what is it? Any feelings or like anything like besides that you wouldn't normally think of?
Like I grew up in a tiny town, so like I never thought like this like influence that I had would ever like grow like this. And so like that, I think that's the biggest thing is like looking at like a number rise so much. I'm like, oh my god, like I grew up in a town with 2,000 people. Like what is happening here? Like it's just like a wildest dream sort of thing. Like it still feels like a fever dream.
Do you ski?
I ski. I used to snowboard.
Okay.
But yeah,
Too big for that now.
I'm way too big for it now. I want to. Like I find it so much fun, but it's impossible to like find a big enough board, big enough shoes. Like it becomes a way harder process.
When you fall, you're falling hard too.
Oh yeah, that falls hard.
It's also probably harder to breathe. The altitude is like you got about 1.5 feet on like most people. So
yeah, and the ski, like the ski, like the chairlifts or whatever, like my feet will be on the ground until like we really get up. So like I'm touching the ground the entire time. Like it gets a little nerve wracking.
We got our someone that works with us, Mitchell. He does like our SEO and like YouTube backend. He's like big into snowboarding, like tips and stuff. So maybe he'll get you in with a company that can do a custom board or something.
That would be sick. I would love to snowboard still. I love snowboarding. I love going back to Colorado and just like thinking about snowboarding, but just not.
And so do you go to Colorado too still, or?
Yeah, my dad and my sister still live there, so I go visit them. It's not as much as I do California, but I try to go back to Colorado as much as possible and just like hang out with the people that I've grown up with my entire life. So that's a fun time. That's always a fun time. People in Colorado are a hoot.
Colorado's a crazy place.
It's a crazy place. It's a bunch of crazy people.
Did you grow up like following any pro teams out in Colorado than California, or are you just always kind of following the players?
I was more of a players guy growing up, but like growing up in Colorado Springs, like I loved CC a lot. I loved CU Boulder. I loved Colorado State. Like I would go to Denver Broncos practices, even though I'm not a Broncos fan. Like it was more of a, I liked being associated with Colorado, but I didn't like Colorado teams. So I would try to avoid like being fans of like the Rockies and the Avs and all of those guys because I just wanted to be like different.
Who are your 4 professional sports teams then?
I'm a huge Packers fan. When I was 8, I bought like $100 like certificate that says you're owner of the Packers.
Okay.
So I did that. So I've been a diehard Packers fan since. Hockey, I'm a Bruins fan now.
Yep.
Let's go.
Like I had to make that decision while coming here. I had to realize I had to fall for some Boston sport. Then San Diego Padres, that's the only San Diego team. Like yeah, I root hard for the Padres now. And what am I forgetting? Basketball? I'm a Spurs fan. I was a Spurs fan pre-Wemby.
Okay.
So at the end of like Tony Parker, Tim Duncan,
Tim
Ginobili. I was a huge Spurs fan because of Matt Bonner. He was the only ginger in the league besides him and Brian Scalabrine. Was Matt Bonner, and I loved Matt Bonner. And so I would always watch the Spurs to watch a ginger play basketball.
Well, Kevin Huerter, now he's cooking.
Kevin
He's a
Huerter's
great shooter.
sick. Kevin Huerter's sick. There's a few gingers that have been standing out in the league for a little bit. Blake Griffin. I'll put him in the group.
Yeah.
I'll throw Kevin Huerter, Nico Mannion for a little bit.
Oh yeah, Nico Mannion, he's up and down, but Kevin Huerter is like, he's a New York guy. He's from upstate New York, so another like East Coast kind of. He's got roots out here, but I think Derek White would be a cool person for you to connect with if you haven't already, just because the Colorado connection and obviously being in Boston.
No, my one of my assistant or like one of my trainers back home actually is like I think pretty good friends with Derek White.
Okay.
So Derek White started playing D2 at UCCS, so University of Colorado Springs. He was a walk-on.
Yeah, right where you're from.
Right where I'm from. My mom was a professor at the school when he was still going there.
Yeah.
And then like he got like a scholarship and then he went to Colorado. And like everyone in Colorado is just like the biggest Derek White fan. It's the same with Reggie Jackson actually. Reggie Jackson's also a Colorado guy. And he's a big supporter in Colorado too, and he plays for the Nuggets. So he's like the biggest. He's the biggest hometown head.
You got to meet one of them.
Oh, I would love to.
Now.
I would love to. I would love to talk to Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson's like the coolest basketball player to me.
Definitely.
He has the sickest swag I've ever seen.
I think too in Boston too, like Derek White, like everybody, it's the same thing. Everyone loves him here. He just comes, he plays hard, defensive like monster, and like this year, he's on the verge of. I mean, it's hard being with Tatum and Brown like on the same team, but like on a different team or even on the Celtics, like he might even be an all-star this year, which is crazy.
It's nuts. He's so good. He took the Marcus Smart role that they lost while trading him and took it and like ran with it. He's by far the best defensive leader on that team. Like him and Drew Holiday control that entire defensive unit. They're really good. That team's really good. I'd love to talk to Derek White too. I think he went to Legend High School in Parker, Colorado, so like 20 minutes away from me. So I played him one time in a tournament actually.
That's crazy.
So it's actually weird. I never played. I want to play. I would like to play.
How old are you now?
I'm 19.
Okay, and you're a sophomore.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm an underage sophomore.
You're a true sophomore.
I'm like a true sophomore.
Doesn't happen too often in basketball.
No, it's actually one of the weirdest things ever is like seeing like 21-year-old freshmen. It always confuses me. What
do you think as a Spurs fan now? The whole Wemby stuff. You know, they're not that great, but they have Wemby. Who, like, do you see potential in him?
Oh, Wemby's going to be the greatest basketball player of all time. Like, there's a statistic going around right now. He's the third like leader in shot blocks in the NBA, but like he actually has the least amount of like attempts to block a shot per game for like a center in the league. So
because people don't want to go up.
They don't want. He like actually like changed the entire game when he's in. He's actually one of the most dynamic basketball players I think we'll ever see. Defensively, he's going to be one of the greatest of all time. And offensively, he has every skill set to be one of the greatest of all time. I'm really excited for him. And I really like Jeremy Sochan. Devin Vassell is really good. I like Zach Collins. I have a Zach Collins autograph, actually. I have an autographed Zach Collins card, which is the most random thing in the world.
Do you like sports cards?
Oh, I used to collect sports cards heavy when I was little. And so I went to a I went to a Portland Trailblazers game against the Nuggets with my middle school choir. I got his autograph, and then I got chauffeured out because I never bought a ticket for the actual thing, but I was with the choir. So like I had to sing, and then I left the thing
That's
afterwards.
sick. Well, you got the auto.
I got the Zach Collins autograph.
Wow. No, that's crazy. What about Chet?
I think Chet's really good. I've been around basketball during Chet. Like one of my teammates actually played Chet. One of my teammates played Chet. Chet's really good. Chet's going to be another guy that's like generational.
I feel like now Chet should win Rookie of the Year.
I could get behind that. Chet is like I think he's like second leader in the league in shot blocks. He's cooking. His team's way better than Victor's. I think the only way Victor wins it is just media output. He gets so much social media looks, and like they already like hyped him up to be the next generational prospect. Like I think that's the only thing that takes away. It's sort of like the Melo LeBron situation. When Melo and LeBron were both rookies, like Melo had a better year, but LeBron had all the hype behind him.
Yeah, and now that was before TikTok. So you got TikTok, and Wemby's like the biggest thing on social media. So it's tough to compare.
Yeah.
But what does your basketball journey look like going forward? Do you think BU is kind of it, or do you want to pursue like professional?
I love BU. I want to keep doing this at BU, I want to try to win I want to go to the tournament. That's like the biggest thing for
Mhm.
me. But I think I'll have outlet to go pro for a little bit. I love basketball so much because I started so late. Like I never really lost the love for it because it's like my fourth or fifth year playing it, and so like I just have a ton of love for the sport, and I don't want to like lose that at all. So like I want to try to play pro in like Europe maybe. If I have a G League opportunity, I'll try to do a G League opportunity. I just want to try to extend this as long as I possibly can. You only have so much time you can play a sport. Like I was thinking about it, I was like, I wish I was a 2-sport athlete in high school, but like you can't change that at all. So I don't want to put this out like, oh, I'm done after college because I want to keep doing this as long as you possibly can.
Totally.
It's a memory you always want to have.
Keep every door open.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's great. I feel like BU too is like just like a great place to be, like for sports. Just you live with all the hockey guys, like you're able to. I mean, being a new basketball, relatively new, right? You weren't growing up like 4 years old dribbling a basketball around, but you're still able to learn, right? You're still developing, like and like becoming a better player.
Oh yeah, my coaching staff works super heavily with me. It's really nice having a bunch of people that care about you a lot too. The coaching staff cares about you a ton. So that's always a super nice thing, just knowing how much love people have for you with the sport and how much people care for you. And I feel like that's the big thing now with like all this influence is there are a bunch of people that are rooting for me. So like I want to like help them be like, okay, yeah, like root for me and I'm going to do good for you.
Are there other student athletes at BU that have like social media followings?
I actually don't know that. Maybe Lane. No. Lane's pretty quiet. He's like the greatest hockey player of all time. I actually don't know. I don't think so. Because we're a very small sports school. We don't have the footballs. We don't have the volleyballs. So I feel like I'm probably the only guy that really has like a big social media outreach. But there's some guys on the hockey team that probably have like 25,000 followers that I just can't think of.
Yeah. Anything going on recently? Just like crazy, random, more encounters that have been cool.
When I was in the airport, someone filmed me. That was the first time ever, and I was like sort of like weird about it, but I was like, oh, like this is crazy. Like,
Did they come up to you, or they were just like taking a video?
They were just taking a video of me from a distance, and I was like, that's weird. But I was like, that's also cool as fuck at the same time. Like I was like, okay, like it's weird that some dude's filming me, but like I was like, holy shit, someone's filming me.
Yeah, I just saw you're wearing a GAA jersey though. What team's this?
I think this is a Dublin club.
Yeah.
It's a Bob Marley like reference jersey. My stepdad got it for me. I'm really big into fashion, so when he got me this, I was like, I'm gonna wear this every day. So I love wearing like sports jerseys, soccer kits. I have a bunch of vintage soccer kits, a bunch of vintage like soccer shirts. I wear like a baseball t-shirt every day, like a baseball player. I love Randy Johnson. That's like my favorite athlete ever. And I wear like a Randy Johnson like. I wear so much Randy Johnson stuff. It's actually bad.
Do you have like a pregame fit? Like,
I typically just show up like normal, but like my favorite, I love the summer just because I can wear jorts constantly. I've grown up wearing jorts. Like I grew up in Colorado, like not a super wealthy family, so like I would just get my dad's passed down pants and we just cut them and make them shorts. And so I've always just worn jorts ever since a little age, and I just love wearing them still. So like that's like my favorite thing to ever wear. And so I'll wear that, like a vintage sports tee, and then like some like Uggs.
you ever pull up in that fit to like a court and like people don't take you serious and you just like cook them?
Me and my friend this summer, CJ, he transferred to a school back out in Cali, a D3 school, and we went to FitRec, so like the BU like fitness gym. Like there's 4 basketball courts up there, and we're like, okay, we're gonna go up there, and we're both in jorts. We have like keys on our belt. I'm playing in Sambas the entire time, and we were just busting people's ass the entire time. It was actually so much fun. I love just being able to pick up basketball. When it's unserious, it's the most fun in the world. When you're being super serious about something, it sort of just takes the love away from it. Like I feel like that's where like people's jobs die down at. Like you're like, oh, okay, like I'm trying super hard at this. You're gonna not like it.
Well, you look at like a guy like Jokic, where like there's all the TikToks going around where Jokic like hates his job, and he just like kind of just like half-asses it, and he'll just like throw the ball up there, and he like makes it in. And like obviously there's a lot more to that, and like he definitely loves basketball, and like that's his passion, and he's absolutely insane at it. But you know, he kind of like takes it a little bit less serious, and like the result is very successful.
I don't think basketball is of course a sport where you always have to work out and like to get better. But like once you hit like Jokic's like ability. Like it's just an IQ thing at that point. Like he doesn't have to work on much past that. And I feel like that's a lot with a lot of people.
What were you saying about the horses?
Dude, so he was up in they were playing the Knicks like last week.
Yeah.
And he was late for the game because there's a horse racing track up in Yonkers, New York, which is like a half an hour outside the city. And he was up there all day betting on the ponies. And then they're like, "Where the fuck is he?"
I think he was looking. I think he was scouting for his own horses.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was-
something like-
I saw the Twitter thing. I saw it was a whole thread. I was dying at that because that's just so random too. Yonkers, New York, it's like right next to Bronx. So he's just watching horses like right outside of
Just
Bronx.
deep.
Somebody asked him a while ago, like, "How many horses do you have?" He's like, 7 or 8, 9, maybe
10.
12.
Yeah, he just doesn't. And like after the finals too, he was like disappointed about the parade.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, when's parade?"
He was like, I gotta go see my horse on Sunday.
Yeah, and when the whole thing when he was like, yeah, I didn't work out. I was only in the weight room. I didn't really get to a gym at all. And like all the videos of him clubbing in Serbia, he's funny as shit, dude. Like he actually he takes his job seriously, but at the same time, like he's just shits and giggles the entire time.
His best quote was like right when he came back for the season this year. They're like, "So was this one of your best summers ever?" And then like, "You just won a championship. It must have been great." He goes, "No, actually, it was one of the worst. Like, we had an extra 2 months of basketball."
He's so funny, dude. Oh, he's hysterical. Like he's
have-
never gonna have an influence at all like that, but like if he did, like he would be the most liked player in the NBA.
Have you played games since like blowing up, or have you been off for the holidays?
I've been off for the holidays. So my video blew up when we played UMass LOL.
Okay.
But like it was only at like 100K views. So I was like, okay, these guys haven't seen this yet. This Merrimack game, I've had so many texts and like DMs. They're like, "Oh my god, we're coming to your game." I'm like, "Oh, like,
When is the game?
it's on the 30th, so
Okay.
December 30th." And I was like, "Holy shit! Like, there's gonna be a bunch of people at this game.
Yeah,
Like, our
maybe.
games typically are like not that many people, and like if it starts ramping up a little bit, I'll be like, oh my god, this is
Might need to
crazy.
pull out that windmill dunk.
2-hand windmill.
Oh my god, I would have a blast, and I just love like being able to like interact with people and like have a good interaction with people. I feel like that's something that's very underrated. I feel like people like get clout to their head. I just want to be very nice to people. I really like being nice to people. It's my favorite thing.
That's great. Well, that's a great way to end it too. So thank you so much for coming on.
No problem.
Yeah.
I love this.
Best of
Oh,
luck
yeah.
with
Best of
everything.
luck.
Shout out Will Simmons.
Yeah, shout out Will. Thank you,
Thank you,
Will, for
Will.
connecting us. And yeah, we'll catch you.
I'll see you.
Amazing.